Hi guys, Tracy here with a Project Life video for you guys. It's been a while since I've done a Project Life video, and I know I've gotten a lot of requests about, are you going to do Project Life process again? Yes, I am. I don't even know what happened. You guys know I was really excited to do Project Life in 2016. The Project Life style, kind of like classic Project Life with 1 week per spread, although I was doing 1 week per half spread or whatever. I'm pretty flexible about it, but my whole idea was to do it weekly as opposed to monthly, because the years that I did it monthly, just compared to the years that I did it weekly, I was just kind of like glossing over the details, and the details are really what Project Life is all about for me. So it kind of didn't make sense to do it monthly for me. I know for a lot of people it works to do it monthly, and that's great. I encourage you to do whatever works for you. But for me, I just didn't find that my pocket pages were really working for me. They weren't doing anything different than a regular layout. So although I guess it was a little bit more efficient, I guess, because it didn't take as long to do more photos. But anyhow, I did decide to do Project Life in 2016, the classic Project Life style. And I'm using Design F page protectors for the most part. I guess what I like to do with Project Life is have a default page protector, and that way I don't have to, it's one less decision I have to make. I find the more I can streamline the process of doing Project Life, the better on track I tend to keep with it, although it didn't really work so well this year. Anyhow, so I have this really nice start on Project Life with lots of details about the movies we saw, and my painting my nails and my kids and their hairdos and all sorts of fun things. And then it just kind of stops in January. And so since January, I've been hanging on to things that I want to tuck into my Project Life. And I have a couple cards that I did in February that I just did the individual cards. I didn't really think about an overall layout, like which pockets anything would go into. And so I have, what I thought I would do with this video is I would just show you the cards that I have. I have some cards that I made in February. I do have a process video for these, but I mean, you know, it's like 6 cards. It's not like rocket science or anything, so I don't think I'm gonna post that. If people really want it, I'll go ahead and post it. It's on my computer. I could easily delete it or post it. Tell me what you want, and I'll put it up there if you want to, but it's only like these cards. So then I have a whole bunch of cards that I did at an all-day crop that I went to that my friend was putting on at her church, and so I have those, and I can show you what I did with those. And I also have a 6x12 layout that I'm going to put in this. And then I'm going to talk a little bit about where I'm at with Project Life and what I'm going to do next. Alright, so I have some things here just from my life to put into Project Life. I have this project that one of my daughters did for a book that she was reading. I have my census, which I already filled out, but I wanted to, so I don't think it matters that you see my code. I guess I'll kind of cover it up just in case it matters. But I have my census here, and the census was a really big deal in Canada this year because the previous government had cut it, and now the current government brought it back. And speaking of the current government, I have this envelope that I think I mentioned before I wanted to put into Project Life because they spent all that money on the ink. I might as well. I have a really cute Valentine from one daughter to the other daughter with a nice sampling of her current artwork. And then this is a 2015 My Year in Review. This is something that one of my daughters did for school, and it kind of talks about all of her favorite things, and I thought that would be cool to put in Project Life. I have a paper bag, just a cutout from a paper bag from the Chinese place that we like to go to, and it's one of the few places that still uses the old-fashioned paper bags with their restaurant logo printed on it in beautiful colors. And I just, again, it's kind of like that liberal mailer. You know, people spend all this money doing things nicely, and I don't want to recycle it, so I've got that there. Oh, this is an even nicer one. I think I'll keep this one as opposed to this one. I was hanging on to this one, and then I thought I had lost it, but I didn't. And this one is, although this one has his family, and his wife is named Sophie, and that is sort of my Sophie's namesake. So I did already like the name Sophie, but when he married her, I thought, if I ever have another girl, I'm going to name her Sophie. And then I got pregnant with another girl, so so anyhow. Then I've got a program from my International Students Robotics competition, and then I just have I seem like I'm more political than I am because there's all this liberal stuff in here. I'm really not into politics at all, but I thought this was a funny article that I read back when Justin Trudeau and his family were visiting the Obamas, and it was just like, I really thought that the article was funny and timely and interesting, so I printed it up. It printed all these extra pages that I actually don't need, and it also talks about a part of our region, because people have been joking around that if Trump gets elected, that Americans are welcome to move to Cape Breton. And Cape Breton is within Nova Scotia, so I just thought it was kind of like timely and relevant and an interesting kind of snapshot of what's going on in the day. Like I said, I don't really follow politics, so having this in my project life would be nice for the kids when they're looking back to kind of say, oh yeah, there was other stuff going on in the world other than just us and what we were doing. So I'm going to put these into page protectors and just slip them in to kind of like in between my pages, and so I thought I would just show you those, and then I have these cards to show you. So let me show you these cards. I have a couple of 4x6 cards here, more than I normally make actually. So I have this one. I used up some old Dear Lizzie chipboard from her very first Dear Lizzie collection, or maybe it was, no, it was the Get Lucky collection. Is it Get Lucky? Lucky Star? Get Lucky. I don't know. Anyhow, I don't know what it is. It's probably not Get Lucky. I got that song in my head now. Anyhow, we've got some photos from my daughter's school photos, and we didn't buy the photos this year, so I just put the little proofs up there. And these are chipboard pieces of banner from the chipboard, like the big Thickers package of chipboard that came with one of the older Dear Lizzie collections. And then I just put some puffy stickers on, and I drew with my pen to make it turn into a banner. And then these are 3 pictures of my international student's birthday celebration that we had for her as a family. And I just outlined the 3 photos. I kind of layered them and outlined around the outside edge of them. And then I did my journaling on this. And these are all Becky Higgins Project Life cards, and most of them are from the Jade collection. And so it says Celebrate Life, and I just took some confetti punches of hearts, and I actually punched another Project Life card and just put the little hearts all around, and put some puffy stickers all around as well. And then this is kind of like a crazy random card that doesn't have a great color scheme, but that's okay. That's what Project Life is all about. I try really, really hard to not think too much about Project Life or spend too much time with it. I want to slap it on and get it into my book as quickly as possible. So I have some, and I also want to use up old stash. So this is an old Jilly Bean soup label and a clip and some enamel dots. This is one of those really cute bows. I've been wanting to use this bow for so long, but it's such a tricky color scheme with that color yellow and that color green. I just have been having a hard time using it, so I thought I'd stick it on this page because this page was so random with crazy colors anyways. And then I just used some Martha Stewart labels here and a piece of washi tape, and it's just a diptych photo collage of my cat trying to steal the show when I was taking pictures of my card. Then I just have 2 pictures of my daughter's hair when I colored the tips of it pink and purple, and I layered some old stickers here and just did some journaling here that says pink and purple tips for Livy, so much fun. Again, another Becky Higgins card. More Becky Higgins cards, and these are some of those washi stickers that I was trying to use up in another previous Project Life process video, and one more of those craft stickers that I was also trying to use up. So there's that, and it looks like a chain link fence, this card, and I really like it. I think it's very cool. Then we have a picture of my daughter and our cat, and these are some stickers from, I think these are also from Dear Lizzie, and then a Brad, and another one of those craft stickers. It just says Minecraft and Buddies. Oh, just Minecraft Buddies. Sorry, I thought that T was an and. And then this is a really beautiful picture of my cat Nixie. So that cat is Lila and this cat is Nixie on Sophie's bed. And this is such a beautiful shot. I just love it. I love the blue in her eyes and how the bedspread picks it up, and then that contrast of the really bright green in the background. Oh, I love this picture. I love the picture so much that I didn't really want to do anything to it. So I just put Nixie Sticks, which is her nickname, and I matted it on a piece of cardstock and just slapped it on a card. And that's what I love about Project Life. This one, again, I just grabbed a photo, slapped it on the card, added a sticker, and we're good to go. So this came on the card. Then with this, I put some washi tape and I used my tiny attacher to staple it. And then I put the X-Files and a little extra sticker and did some journaling there about how we were watching some old episodes of the X-Files. I'm hoping to just stick this into one of these pockets, and maybe along with some punched star confetti, and just put it in there and use my fuse to close it up, and that would be it for that one. So that was my kind of extra cards from January and February that didn't get put into pockets yet. So now I'm going to show you the cards that I made at the crop. And yeah, I'll show you the cards that I made at the crop, and then I'll try to lay them out in a way that works. And I don't even know how many I have here and how many pages I'm going to fill up, if any. This was a whole day's work. And after I spent a whole day doing Project Life, dedicated, like I didn't cook or any, like we went over to a restaurant real quick, but we really spent like the entire day there. This is all that I did. And I had this kind of like wah moment of feeling like I'm never going to get caught up if this is how long it takes me to do things. So I've decided to skip through some of Project Life. So I've got a backlog of photos that I was planning to scrap. That's just, I am never, ever, ever going to get them done. And I'm going to hate the process of doing it if I have to go back in time, because I'm such an immediate scrapper. I hate going back and scrapping old stuff. So I'm going to fast forward a little bit and just pick up where I left off, and this will be the gap between February and May, and then I'm just going to pick up in May and work from this point forward. And then if I ever get a chance to go, but like if I have a few extra minutes and want to do some quick slapping together some cards, I will do that for the backlog, but I'm probably not going to address the backlog at all. So these are the cards that I made at the crop, and I used some cards of my friend Tanya's, so I don't know which collection these came from, but they are Becky Higgins cards. And this card I just thought was an awesome color scheme for these photos, so I just put two 2x2 photos right there. And I was going to do some stamping on this, but I never did. I guess I could put the date or something there. It says snowshoeing at Lewis Lake in February. The woods were so serene until we arrived, because we were yelling and screaming and having a lot of fun, probably scaring away nature. Then I have this, which is, it says Scott's Coffee, but it's actually Tracy's tea in there. Camilla made Scott this cool coffee mug, which I steal, so I'm often taking his coffee mug whenever my Daryl mug, which I have right here, whenever my Daryl mug, it has Daryl from The Walking Dead. Whenever my Daryl mug is dirty, I steal Scott's coffee mug. My two favorite guys on coffee mugs. So there you go. And then this is not a Project Life card, obviously. This is from Paper Issues, and I just thought it was really cute. And of course it fits into a 3x4 pocket, so I thought that I would just put this in as it is. No need to scrap anything. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I think I'm going to leave the back like this so that it will be both sides, and that way if you see this, you might not necessarily know what it is unless if you're a scrapbooker. So the other side will show that it's an order card, like it's a thank you from a store. Again, I'm being really, really, really simple here. I just took one Project Life card, made a banner out of it, cut it in half because it was actually too small, and then I mounted it on another Project Life card and added a wood veneer and my crazy face. And there we go. And speaking of my crazy face, here it is again. More layers. This time I cut a bunch of strips out of other Project Life cards. I'm trying to use up my Project Life cards, so I am cutting them, using them for layers, and just trying to get them used. So that's me at a hotel. And then this says, this is my happy place. And I forget what I was supposed to be pointing to. This goes with something else. And this is another Dear Lizzie chipboard card from that, what was it? Dear Lizzie has thickers that come out with her early collections. I don't know if she still does that, but there's just a little bit of glue on this. So I'm just gonna peel it off so it looks prettier. There we go. I can't remember what that one goes with. And then look, isn't this cute? It's another one of those Dear Lizzie stickers with an umbrella and my cute little adorable daughter with buns in her hair. Those are braid buns. Our international student, Sophia, braided her hair and put it up in buns. So that's awesome. Yeah, so I can't remember what goes with that. But, and then, so then I have this picture of this, we used to call this breakfast, was called the Stephen. So this is a picture of, it's another 2x2. Most of the photos here are 2x2s. This is a photo of the breakfast formerly known as the Stephen. And so we have to rename this breakfast. I mean, we don't have to, but Stephen isn't a member of our family anymore. So we don't really want to necessarily be talking about Stephen all the time. Like, it's not like we're trying to rewrite history or anything, but my sister's getting a divorce, so we don't really want to have a breakfast named after her ex-husband. So anyhow, it says, I just wrote here, needs a new name, because we've been calling this breakfast a Stephen because Stephen is the person who introduced us to it. It's delicious. It's an everything bagel with herb and garlic cream cheese and a slice of tomato, and you can order it at Tim Hortons. That's how he orders it, but we usually just make it at home. And it's not on the menu, so that's at Tim Hortons, and that's why we call it the Stephen, because we think that he invented it. So then we have another Project Life card here that just has a sticker and a photo. It just says happiness, and there's an apple pie baking in the oven. And then, oh yeah, this is a Instagram shot that I took of the door, and it says hashtag good clean fun, and then I put this Heidi Swap sticker that says I loved it when ... And it says 4 17-year-olds were singing at the tops of their lungs, everything from Hannah Montana to Green Day to Elton John to Drake. There was no way I was interrupting them. And then I put a little speech bubble clip, and it says, is it too late now to say sorry? Because that was one of the songs they were singing. So yeah, these are Avalicious little circles that I have a whole bunch of Avalicious and L Studio tags that I have on these tags. I used to keep my tags like this, and I have just been trying to use them up, so they're going into my Project Life. So that's where those came from, and I can't remember what goes with that. Maybe I will find it. I don't think it's any of these. I'm pretty sure it's not. No. I think I have a picture of my scrap room somewhere in here. So again, these are more of those Ellie Studio cloud tags. I added 2 wood veneers. I just put the date February 2016. I wasn't too careful about the dates because it's February. It doesn't really matter which day Sophia was sitting there with the cat. Could have been any day. I added a Fancy Pants sticker there and matted it with another Project Life card that I cut up. And then this one, I didn't even remember the story behind this, but Sophia had taken this picture of me, and so I just wrote, what is so funny, because I don't know what I'm laughing at there, but I'm just laughing my head off. And I just cut the H so that it didn't cover my face, because that's the whole purpose of the photo, is that I'm laughing, so if I cover my face, that wouldn't make any sense. And it kind of looks like the H is stuck behind the photo, which looks kind of cool. And these are old thickers and sassafras letter stickers. Whoops. What is so funny? I just don't know. And then this is one of those dies that I got from Simon Says Stamp, and I did a video about the die, and when I did it, I did a sample, and this is the sample. So I just put it on here, and it hung over the edges, so I just cut it down a little bit, and this is on an Ellie's Studio card from a very long time ago. I just stapled the sticker there, and it's a photo from my Instagram of a tea bag. These tea bags each has a different little saying on it, and this one says, "The difference between a flower and a weed is a judgment." And because I have that dandelion tattoo, I just kind of draped it so that I sat it so that you could see the tea bag, my coffee cup, and the tag and my tattoo all in the same shot, and the tea bag is kind of blurred out a little bit. Yeah, so I don't know if I need to say more about these. So this is another Project Life card that I just put a picture on and wrote a couple words. It says "Making Valentines," and that's it. This is another picture and some journaling and one of those Avalicious tags with a little enamel dot. It says, "For their event planning badge, Liv, Mac, and Katie made lamingtons for the Sparks." So their Girl Guide group had to put on a party for the Sparks, for one of the Sparks groups, which is the Sparks are the youngest kids, and the Girl Guides are like grade 4, 5, 6, I think. Anyhow, so it's Olivia and her two friends, and they were making lamingtons, and the Girl Guide group broke into teams, and so they were part of the team that was making the treats. So another team would have decorated the place, another team would have, I don't know, like sent out invitations. I'm not entirely sure how it worked, but we were doing baking for the event. Then we have, yes, so this, I just spelled out the word milestone and outlined it with some marker, and these are sassafras stickers. And I took this 2x2 photo of right as I was about to hit 15,000 subscribers on my YouTube channel. I outlined it and matted it with another Project Life card and put "Best Day Ever" in these awesome gold foil word stickers that I love so much. And then I just put a photo on a card. Pretty easy. And then this one says "Home." And again, this was my sample when I did the video about the Simon Says Stamps dies. This was one of the heart dies. This was it without the little centers poked out, and cut with watercolor paper and then watercolored a little bit. And I just took some Heidi Swap letter stickers and spelled out "Home." These showed up on some other cards. I don't think I said what they are. They're Heidi Swap glitter foam letter stickers, and I love them. They've got that typewriter font. I really love them. And then this just says "Life Pictures Words," and I added a little deer paper clip to the bottom. I just stapled it on with 3 staples. Very simple filler card. This one says "Eating Like Football Fans." I just layered a sticker underneath of the photo. It's cheater method for making a label be longer than it actually is. And then "Choose Happiness." And then that's just a picture of what we ate on Super Bowl weekend, because we don't really watch football, but we did watch the halftime show. So then these 2 cards go together, new and old. And this is what I love about Project Life, because I would have never done a layout about battery cases. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have. You never know, but I probably wouldn't have. This is just something that I love about Scott and about photography, is that photographers are really known for just like rigging up stuff. Like they don't necessarily, because you could pay like a lot of money for stuff in photography. And so photographers are really good at winging it and just kind of like making stuff, making makeshift homemade things to help with their photography. And so this is something that Scott had made a number of years ago, probably like 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It says, Scott's old makeshift battery storage system served him well. He made it out of duct tape and Velcro and the little plastic battery trays that you get when you buy recyclable batteries, or some type of batteries come in like a, this is just like the plastic case that it's not even really a case, it's just like a molded plastic with ridges in it that the batteries rest in, and then they're kind of shrink wrapped or whatever the packaging is. So he took that instead of throwing it in the garbage and made his own battery cases out of it, because he has so many of those special rechargeable batteries for his camera gear, and he needs to keep it all straight so that sets go together and charged and uncharged and that sort of thing. So there's this whole system that he has. So that's what that was, and I just like that kind of stuff. I like that he's whatever that's called, like he's resourceful. But after 3 years of using it and out on fields and in hockey rinks and in rain and stuff like that, that battery case was getting pretty beat up. So he went to Lee Valley and bought this really cool new one, and he took this awesome picture of it with the Lee Valley, I think that was the receipt there, and then just kind of like a close-up shot of the storage thing. You can't really tell what it is, but it's just more of an artistic shot. So it says Scott's old makeshift battery storage system served him well, and then Scott's new battery storage system will keep him charged for years to come. So those two go together. Then more Ellie Studio, a punch that I punched out of a Project Life card, and then this is a Project Life card from Tanya's stash, and a 2x2 photo, and it says Sophia had never been to a burger joint and had never heard of A&W. So it says eat this, and I put a little resin flower. This goes with this because these are the photos of the kids at A&W enjoying their frosty mugs of root beer and their fries and onion rings and teen burgers. So this is teen burgers, onion rings, frosty mug of A&W. And there was a little thing here that says my heart, and I just covered it with the word love. This is an Ellie Studio tag, one of those cut-aparts that they used to sell a while ago. And then this one says, you are loved, and this is a jelly bean soup, I think, I don't know. Anyways, this is my youngest daughter baking, and she got up super early to bake one morning, made lemon poppy seed muffins. I have some puffy stickers, a little butterfly, and an arrow. This one is quite decorated compared to some of the other ones. So even though so many of these cards were so plain, it took me a long time to do this. This says car selfie spelt out in little tiny letters, and a little wood veneer, and a 2x2 photo, and then I just put Instagrammed with my roller date stamp right there. Oh yeah, so that wasn't all that I did that day. I also did this 6x12 layout, which is for my Project Life. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is put 3 4x6 photos on the back of it, just to kind of cover some more ground. Or maybe what I might do is take some of my tiny little pictures that I have printed up to do Project Life with, and just do like a collage here where I just fill this whole thing up with little tiny pictures and maybe little words or something. We'll see what I do. Anyhow, this background paper is from Fancy Pants from the Atwell collection, and this is one of my favorite layouts ever for my Project Life, because this is what Project Life is all about. Again, I would not have done a full 12x12 layout about this, and in fact I wasn't really going to do a 6x12 layout, but the things that I wanted to say on this and the font that I wanted to use to spell out Rick Grons, like once I put everything out, it was just clear that I was going to kind of have cards pointing to other cards and like tell a story zigzaggy down the page, but it just kind of seemed too much of a hassle. So I just made a 6x12 layout about it. So this is the layout that talks about the story of something that happened for my Facebook group. So when somebody asks to join our group, we just want to make sure that they are not a spammer or I don't know what else, what other problems you could have, but we just want to make sure that the people who are joining the group are actual scrapbookers so that we don't have a whole lot of work to do to delete posts that are not appropriate or whatever the case might be. And so we came up with this idea that whenever we approve somebody who, like if we see them and I recognize the name from my YouTube channel, or I've seen them as I know that they're a scrapbooker just because they're around on Instagram or whatever, then we just approve those people. But if it's somebody whose name we don't really recognize, we would just private message them and say, hey, we got this request for you to join our group. We want you to join, but we just want to make sure that you're a real scrapbooker. Tell us a little bit about yourself. Like we just ask them a couple questions, and then when they respond, we're just, it's not like an interview or anything. It's just everybody gets in. We just want to know that the person is real. So that's what we've been doing. We've sort of changed it recently, but that's what we had been doing. So anyhow, there was this night that I was approving a bunch of people, and in order to send them a private message, I usually go to their profile, and if their profile has lots of scrapbooking stuff, I don't even send them a message. I'm just like, they're definitely a scrapbooker, send or approve. So I went to this guy. This guy had requested his name is Craig Allen, and he's an awesome scrapbooker, by the way. He had, but I didn't know that at the time, he had requested to join my group, and look at his profile. It's full of zombies from The Walking Dead. So when I went over to send him a private message, I saw that, and that made me want to scroll down and see what else he was about because I'm a fan of the show. And he had all kinds of pictures of this vacation he had taken to Atlanta, and he had seen all kinds of cool stuff from the show, and it was just, I was like, wow, I really like this guy. And so I was hoping he was a real scrapbooker because I was, I didn't see any evidence of scrapbooking, so I still sent him the message. And so this is the layout about about the interaction that we had. So it goes, I pulled a Rick Grimes, and then these are thickers, and I forget which font they are, but they're black foam thickers, and then these are October Afternoon letter stickers, and then this is a border from crepe paper from a really long time ago, and this are both Project Life cards that just look like note paper. And so I just wrote on here, before someone can join Rick's group, so here I'm talking about the show The Walking Dead. Before someone can join Rick's group, they have to answer 3 questions. And then I have this wood grain arrow. It's made out of chipboard, and it's from October Afternoon, and these are sassafras letter stickers. And it says, 1, how many walkers have you killed? 2, how many people have you killed? And 3, why? And if you watch the show, this is like a really important part of the show. It kind of just, it's repeated over and over again, and it's kind of how people join their group. And so I said, so when this guy asked to join my Facebook group, I couldn't resist. So I have an arrow that goes to his profile, and it's matted with black cardstock, and then with some, I think this is part of a Project Life card. It could be pattern paper. It's like a gray pattern paper. And I made it sort of masculine. I didn't want it to be too girly because it's about a guy. And then I have just the interaction between us so I texted him, or I Facebook messaged him, and I said, I have 3 questions for you before you can join our group, ... And he was he was typing because I could see him typing. So I wanted to get my questions out quick before he said something because I felt like I was on a roll. So I said, how many pages have you made? How many techniques have you tried, and why? And then he laughed, and I laughed. And I said, I'm sorry, I can't resist. And so that's just kind of how our conversation went. And I just that was just like such a fun moment for me, even though it was such a small, stupid moment, that this is what Project Life is all about. The fact that I can document this. It only took me a few minutes in theory to do this. I ended up spending a lot of time trying to get it like the way that I wanted it, but I could have done it really fast. And this is exactly why I love Project Life, because 2 years from now, I might have forgotten all about this. So I'm so happy to have this in here because it's just kind of like a fun little cute moment. And it's the same thing with like all of these things that I have here. They're all things like, who's going to really scrapbook? I mean, maybe you are going to scrapbook your Super Bowl food, but we're not even Super Bowlers. So like, we don't even like football. So anyhow, I love Project Life, and I need to figure out a way to make it work for me. So we'll see. I guess we'll stay tuned, because we'll have to see how this goes.